the impression, and you can see in that very front, it's a little bit thicker, that material, than it is in the back, because these back gums are stable. She didn't have any teeth pulled recently in those areas, so it's going to be really thin in those areas, but thicker in that front area where she has done a lot of shrinking. So this will be invested into a multi-level mold. We'll do a model, then we'll invest that into a flask and multi-levels of plaster. Then we will take it out of that plaster, we'll open up that mold, and then we'll peel out all of this material, grind off some of the denture, and then we'll re-inject acrylic back into the mold with the denture in it, and that will replace all of this material, the impression material and that temporary material that's underneath this, the white material, with brand new acrylic. Then we trim it up, polish it up, and it is ready to go back in the mouth. Okay, I'm back here in the laboratory and we are cutting the excess of this impression off. You don't want to have impression material come up by the teeth, because everywhere there is impression material, there's going to be acrylic when we're finished. So we've poured up this model and we're gonna get ready to invest it as soon as we get it all trimmed up and cleaned up. Stay tuned. We are in the process of investing this in this flask. Just evening out that first layer. I'll come back at the next step. Okay, we are putting a layer of a lab putty. This is the proper use for lab putty on the teeth, so that this will be easily able to take out of the plaster layer when we're finished without breaking the teeth. Everything is trimmed on here and we are getting ready to pour the second and final layer for the reline. Stay tuned. This is my husband, he's my cute assistant. Okay, we have put that final layer on and we are closing the flask and going to let it set up. Stay tuned for the next part. Okay, we are going to separate this flask and open this up now. Okay, so there is that relined denture in there. Here's the model. Here's that. Okay, now we're going to peel out that impression that we took this morning. Throw that away. And now we're going to go grind out the temporary material from this denture. Make room for the new acrylic to go in there for the reline. We'll come back at the next step. Okay, we are putting a separating film over the model so that when we inject the new acrylic, it will not adhere to the plaster. Okay, the denture is ground out on the inside, making room for that new reline material, and we are going to click this back into the matrix so that we can invest the new acrylic. Okay, we are packing the acrylic into the denture flask, into that ground out denture. This will become the new reline of the denture. Now this goes over into this flask compress. And the excess is squeezed out. Now after this is all squeezed out, we have to do it very slowly. We're going to put this into a curing unit and cure it. And after the curing process, I'll come back. Okay, we are going to deflask this reline out of the flask now that it is cured. Keep in mind, this is the laboratory. Laboratories are very dusty. We're working with plaster and acrylic back here, so.
And it's hot.
Yeah, and that's hot. Getting that denture divested from the plaster model. Okay, hold that up, hold that up. So this is what it looks like when it comes out of the flask. All the edges are rough, got a lot of flashing on there. So now it's my turn. I'm gonna go finish that. Okay, we are at the finish line here. So this is that reline. This was originally an immediate denture, and now it has been relined at the 6-month point, and it is now the permanent. Hope you guys enjoyed following through on this process with us. I hope you have a great day.